Hey coaches, this is Coach Sheffer from my blog Obsessed with Offense, and I wanted to talk to you guys about sticking to your guns on offense. And so this is going to be part 3 of the 0-8 How a Losing Season Made Me a Better Coach series. And I wanted to welcome my son Soren here. He's going to help us out with this presentation today. And I wanted to talk about some of the mistakes that I made. So just some background, I coached the 9th grade team of the high school that I teach at. And my first season as the head coach of the freshman team, at the age of 23 years old, we went 0-8, and it was basically pretty much my fault. We should have won a few of those games. Offensively, I had too many plays. I had too many formations. I just made it way too complicated for 9th graders, especially many of the kids on my team. Over 50% of the kids on my team had no experience playing organized football. Yes, thank you. I assumed that the players understood what I was talking about, but now I know better than that. I know that it doesn't matter how much a kid in high school plays football or how much they watch football or how much they play Madden. They just don't know football, and you cannot assume anything. You can't assume that they understand what you're talking about. And I also gave up too easily. I got frustrated. We were not doing anything well on the offensive side of the ball. Our defense wasn't great, but it was definitely better than our offense. And I gave up too easily, and I started changing things. I started changing offensives, changing the scheme in the middle of the season, and that really just did not help our cause. So at the beginning of the season, we started off. This was going to be our main formation. It was the diamond out of the pistol, and so I called this diamond right, and I called it diamond right because I said the strength. So I had to the right of the so here's quarterback in the pistol position about 3 yards behind the center. I had the tight end type kid, the kid who's going up tight end. He was going to be to the right of the quarterback with his heels at the quarterback's toes. I had direct my speed back, or what you would call a tailback, to the left, because the main play that we were going to run was going to be a sweep with the tailback to the right. And then I had the fullback type guy here because I wanted to maybe run some powers. And so we had a couple different runs out of this. The main run, so here's a picture of what it would have looked like. So the main run was going to be the sweep play, the tailback sweep play. We also wanted to do a quarterback power and a fullback dive, and then some passes. We had a quick slants. That was going to be our main pass, and then we had a play action wheel. And so wanted to show you the diamond right sweep. Here you go, buddy. The diamond right sweep play. And so you see here the quarterback I have him shuffle, hand, like he's thinking about taking that and going up the middle. And that was because over the summer before I started coaching, before I came up with the offense, I went to a Glazier clinic in D.C. And one of the clinics that I went to was all about the power read play with the QB power read. And I fell in love with it. I thought, hey, I could do that. But at the 9th grade level, I wanted to make it 2 different plays, just have a sweep play with the read action and then actually have the quarterback run the power and then change up the offensive blocking scheme. We never got to that because I got frustrated because we were doing nothing offensively. So then the secondary formation we had out of that was the twins. Quarterback and the fullback were in the same position. All I had them do was take the tailback and have him go out as a receiver, and the tight end and have him go out as another receiver on the other side. And just the basic 2x2 or twins formations out of a pistol here. And so my thinking was that if we got good at the offense, we could start going no huddle, go up tempo, and start switching in between these 2 formations, screwing with the defense a little bit. Of course, we never got good at it, so it never happened. So some of the plays we were going to run out of this was a jet sweep. One that I wanted to run was, I called it a guard trap. It might be different than what other people run as a guard trap. We ran a bubble screen, another slant play, and then an out route play. This bubble screen was probably the only play that really worked well for us out of this set. But I want to talk about that guard trap. So all I had them do was, I had the center, guard, and tackle on the play side blocked down. Depending on whether they were linebackers or anyone in front, I coached them up to see who got who. And I had the guard pull and kick out the guy on the end here, usually either a linebacker or a defensive end. And the quarterback would hand it off to the fullback, and he would run. We tried to run this, and these guys got confused as to who they were supposed to pick up, and the guard also was missing the kick-out blocks. So what went wrong in our first scrimmage, and our first two games really? Our O-line was so confused. They were not confident in themselves, and so they played soft. Okay. The sweep play that we wanted to make our main play kept getting blown up in the backfield because our O-line was playing soft. They weren't playing confident. The defenders were getting penetration. We had zero pass protection. And one of the big things with the pistol, you have the pistol snap, which is almost like a shotgun snap. It was inconsistent. 75% of the time, it was not on target. And many times it was above the quarterback's head, which caused issues, or at the quarterback's feet. And I know that offensive line coaches out there are going to keep telling me, and you're going to yell at me, get the center's butt down. We did. We kept preaching that. We kept practicing. We just never, ever could get it to go. And so what we ended up doing, we basically kept the formation, or we put in a king, what we call king. So some of you might recognize this from Oklahoma runs it. It's like a strong pistol with a tight end. What we ended up doing, all those formations that we had before, the twins and the diamond, and this king, we went under center, and so we ran three major formations, and of course each formation had different plays, like 4 or 5 different plays. And so here in the king, we had a dive, we had a blast, we had a toss, and we had a counter, and we also had that slants and wheels pass play. And so again, we went in 2 games into the season running this offense, and in those 2 games we scored 6 points. We just could not move the ball because we were not confident. It was obvious where we were going with the ball based on the strength of the formation, and the defenses were keying on us. And so after that game, me and the other assistant coaches were looking into different offenses that we could run because we felt, hey, maybe it's the scheme. Okay, maybe it's the scheme. They're just not understanding the scheme. What's another scheme that looks good? And so we went on and we went researching, and we found this website called pistoltripleoption.com. If you haven't seen it, I recommend looking it up. It's some great stuff. Triple option, guys, it's literally the same thing as the flex bone, only in a pistol set, and the wingbacks are a little bit wider. Okay? And we ended up, because we had the same problems with the snap, that was our biggest issue. We ended up going into every triple option guy is going to recognize this as the base flex bone formation. At the time, this was before I started doing a lot of deeper research into offense and defense and into schemes. I called it double wing because I didn't understand that was the major triple option offense, and we called this formation Air Force, and it became our mate. We stopped running anything else. This was the only formation we came out in because we felt that the other ones were just too confusing for our players. And we tried to go for simplicity here. And so this picture is actually from the website. This is from the pistoltripleoption.com. They have great stuff on there. If I start running an offense again, I would consider running something similar to this. So we ran the inside veer, or what most people would know as triple option. We ran rocket toss, which became our best play. in the offense. Counter, we ran some jet sweep and a couple fullback dives. We ran that slant play. We ran something called a cross where the wingback here and the receiver would go in, the wing would go out, and we were trying to get a natural pick. We were trying to get a natural pick on the defenders. And then we had a wide receiver bubble screen. All right, so here's that. This rocket toss, you triple option guys and wing T guys might recognize it. You might see that here the fullback in the regular rocket toss, he's supposed to go backside. Unfortunately, we did not have good blocking, and we thought, hey, if we can get as many people to the point of attack as possible, that would be great. And so we had the fullback go out to be a lead blocker. The running back was on set. He would start motioning, and the quarterback was trying to get him the ball right outside the tackle. It was a great play for us because our running back was a beast. Okay. Hey, buddy, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. If I could go back in time and do this all over again, if I had a time machine, I would probably start running a traditional hybrid wing T from the beginning. Go as simple as I possibly could. I would go with one series until we got really good at it. It would either be the down series or the buck series. I would want to work on the gun snap. I like the dead snap. We tried it. It didn't work for us, probably because of poor coaching, to be totally honest. And I would want to try every single lineman, teach every lineman to snap, just in case. I want to focus more on fundamentals like blocking, focus less on scheme, maybe run just like 2 or 3 plays at the most. One run play, a play action pass off of it, and a counter. And then so they understand it. They're not confused by those different plays. I would want to focus more on the blocking, tackling techniques, stuff like that. Of course, I would pick one play and be good at it. It's better to be good at one thing than it is to be half-ass every other thing. So some conclusions that I made based on what I learned from going 0-8, and then all of the research I've done since then. It's been 2 seasons since this has happened to me, and so I am definitely a different person, a different coach now than I was before. Keep it simple, stupid. So KISS. Keep the offense as simple as possible. Keep the defense as simple as possible. And that's because down here, and so I would go pick one play and build from it. So have one run play, whether that be the down play or a buck sweep, have a play action pass and a counter off of it. That's it. And then build from that if you can. Some teams will only run 3 plays, and that's all they can run because that's all their kids can handle. Other teams can run a bunch, but not every team. Don't change the offenses. Don't change your offensive identity mid-season. Stick to your guns. If you are a triple option team, run triple option. If you are a spread team, run the spread. Okay? Do not change the offense just because you're frustrated. Just get better at it. And of course, this little quote here: "Confident players play faster," from Joe Daniel. That's from JoeDanielFootball.com. I love his stuff. Check his stuff out. I totally agree. If your kids are confident, they will play better. My kids were not confident, and so at the first few games, they just looked terrible. But once the season went along, they started gaining confidence in themselves, and they started playing better, and we got better as the year went along, even though we didn't win any games. So I want to say, conclude this here. I want you guys to subscribe, like my videos, and remember to stay obsessed.